headquarters with Eric Starkloff. It's nice to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Anna. And I'm Victoria.
Now we're going to ask some fun questions. What is your favorite color?
Blue. No, green.
Your turn.
It's an inside joke.
How many pets do you have?
How many pets do I have? 2 dogs. Their names are June and Maisie. They're adorable.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably like fried rice or Asian noodles or something like that, yeah.
All right. What does a CEO do?
That's a good question. I've been trying to figure that out for a couple of years now. So my job is like there's a president of a country or a governor of a state, so I'm the president of a company. And so our company builds technology for engineers.
Okay, so another question is, what's your favorite part of your job?
Oh, that's a great question. I love that I get to work with people from all over the world. And so I get to travel all over the world and meet really, really interesting people. And I get to see some of the coolest technology in the world. So I get to like ride in electric cars while they're still developing them, or get to see rockets launched, get to see how computers are built. And I think that stuff is really, really, really neat. Or phones, like how your phone is built in a factory. Like I've been in those and seen how they actually do it, which is pretty neat. I think it's cool.
How do you become a CEO?
Well, that's another good question. Well, you know, I've had to work hard for a long time. I've had a lot of luck along the way. I got really fortunate that I got to be at a company. I've been at my company for 25 years. I know I don't look like I'm old enough to be at a company for 25 years, but I've been there 25 years. And I got just to grow and learn and try new things like you're doing here at this camp. And just over all those years, I got to learn different things. And eventually, I was fortunate enough to be asked to be the leader of the company.
That's really cool. What does the future of tech and NI look like?
Oh, the future of technology. Well, one of the things that I love about technology is that it can help make the world a better place. It can help make our lives better. Medical technology can help us if we're sick or if we're in an accident. And the technology we work with on cars makes them safer. So eventually, if they drive themselves, the idea is that they won't get in any accidents. You ever known anyone that was in an accident with a car? Like, that's really scary, right? So, yeah. So I love that technology can help with those kind of things. Technology can also help the environment get better and cleaner. So instead of burning oil to get energy, technology can help us use solar and wind power and things like that. And so our company helps to build those technologies to help make the world a better place. And I look forward to trying to get those technologies in the world quicker so it can help you when you're growing up and maybe your kids one day as well.
It's really cool. Why is it important to y'all to get more Latinas and girls into engineering?
That's a great question. Engineering is I think a wonderful job. So was an electrical, and I guess I still am an electrical engineer. And for me, learning about technology gave me all kinds of opportunity to do the job that I do. But engineering hasn't been accessible to enough people. So it's not very diverse, honestly. And it's a great opportunity for people to experience a great career that is very creative. Like think the stuff you're doing here at this camp, like engineers get to create things and they get to build things. And there aren't enough people with kind of different backgrounds and experiences in engineering. So that's something I'm really passionate about, and try to find ways to get people interested. And it might not be the thing for you, but at least you get to learn about what it could be like. And you can decide if that's something that's interesting to you. And I hope more people get that opportunity.
My godfather actually graduated, he just graduated.
Oh, cool.
And he's an electrical engineer.
Awesome. I've got a special spot for electrical engineers, yeah.
Can you tell me about an exciting project coming up in NI?
An exciting project coming up. Okay, I gotta make sure it's not super confidential stuff, like super secret stuff that we work on. Yeah, I'll tell you one that that maybe folks can relate to. So we shared one of our customers. I mentioned electric vehicles. So you ever been in an electric car?
No.
Oh, we should go take a ride around later in my electric car that's outside. So I'm really excited about electric cars, and one of the companies that's building, or several of the companies building electric cars are working with us to build the next generation of batteries. Because one of the challenges with electric cars is that the battery is really expensive, and it doesn't last long enough. It can't go far enough. So it's same like with your phone. Like, did you ever battery go down before the end of the day? Has that ever happened to you?
Yes.
It's kind of frustrating, right?
My phone.
And
Well,
you're like, exactly, I know, totally.
I can't live without it.
So just like that with a car, well, if the battery goes down, then you're kind of stuck somewhere, right? So that's one of the reasons people don't get as many electric vehicles, and they're pretty expensive. And so the next generation of those batteries can help them get cheaper and help them last a lot longer so they can go farther. So we're working on systems that help build the next generation of batteries with a bunch of automotive companies.
A lot of prices have increased.
Yes, that is true. We're experiencing that too as a company.
All right. Tell us about how NI has involved in aerospace.
Oh, that was the other one I was thinking of as like a cool new technology. So we work with companies that launch rockets. Actually, this is pretty neat. There's a team of students in college at UT, so right here in town, that are building a rocket.
Really?
And it's going to be the first students that have actually put a rocket into space.
Wow.
And they're designing and building it themselves. And they're not that much older than you. They're like 19. So they're like, no, it seems like a lot older, but that's not that much older than you. And they're building a rocket, putting it into space, and we're helping them to be the first student team to put a rocket into space. It should be pretty neat.
My mom graduated from UT.
Your Longhorns.
Yeah. We really support them, but a lot of my friends don't.
People are weird about that with colleges. They have their real rivalries, right? Yeah.
How is NI working to develop green technology?
Yeah, so I mentioned that green technology is one of the really important technologies that the engineers are working on. I'll tell you about a few of them that we work on. So I mentioned solar. Everyone knows about solar, and there's different ways to do solar. Like there's solar panels that you've seen on rooftops and all that. There's also really large, one of the projects we work on is a bunch of mirrors in the desert, and they just point the light at a tower and create a heat there, and they boil water, and that creates steam, and then that creates electricity. So that's another type of solar instead of a cell that just turns directly to electricity. So we have a system that helps control that solar array. The other one that's really neat, and I've gotten a chance, I mentioned I get to go see cool places, and there's a technology called fusion. And it's essentially where you try to make a little sun, and it generates power like the sun generates power. But what do you think's hard about generating a little sun?
You have to know where to point to them.
Yeah, well, also it's like pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about like what could hold onto it, right? Because it's so hot, it would melt anything. It'll melt anything. So, you know how you do it? You have to make it float in the midair, and you use magnets to do that. And so you control so that it stays in one place and it doesn't touch anything because it's too hot. It's like millions of degrees. And so that's called a fusion reactor. And there's one in France that they're just finishing building that's the largest in the world. And it'll be the first one to actually start generating power from fusion. So that's pretty neat. And if that actually works, maybe by the time you're my age, that can be a way that power plants run.
I've seen a lot of shows that there's this thing and the sun has to point to the thing. So sometimes they use metal or something.
Oh, to direct the light? Yeah.
It's really cool.
Pretty neat.
On that topic, what are your future plans to deal with the fact that natural resources are depleting?
Oh, that's a great question. I knew these were going to be tough questions in this interview. So one of them are the things I talked about. So like energy is a really, really important use of natural resources, things like fossil fuels, so some of the technologies I just talked about. But there's also things like we can do as a company. So we build products and electronics, and we have a concept that's called circular design. Circular design is really like a version of recycling. It means you design a product to make sure that it's able to be reused and that it doesn't just get thrown away, and that there's a way to repurpose, reuse, and recycle all of the components that go into that design. So we're actually starting to incorporate that into the products we build so they don't end up in a landfill at the end of the day, you know, after people use them for 10 years.
Well, thank you for joining us here today. We are glad you were able to come and talk to us, with us.
Thank you for all the good and challenging questions. I appreciate it.
Thank you for telling us this.
And sign off.
Think cut and cut.
Good job. Good job.